how do you actually draw in manga style? After years of practice, I realized it comes down to just 5 simple points. When you think of manga art, what do you see? Of course, most would think the signature black and white, and that's for a good reason. Most manga are indeed drawn in black and white, sometimes a little extra, but that's for later. There's a bit of a problem in seeing manga as just black and white. As with many things in life, it's not that black and white. Boo! I'd argue that manga is mostly defined by contrast. Manga art pushes contrast further than most art styles, and what contrasts more than bold blacks and clean whites? Well, nothing. Nothing contrasts as much as black and white in terms of value, and manga takes advantage of this separation. So how do we put this into use? Instead of trying to describe everything, we're going to be dividing things. Light or shadow, foreground or background, important or not important. The lines will be bold and striking, even if you have a cleaner style. This duality of sorts is exactly what makes manga art look so sharp and clean, compared to the slightly softer, more pastel looking art that's popular online recently. I'm not putting you down if you draw like that, I'm just making a comparison for the sake of the video. So then, can't we just take any old art and make it monochrome and call it manga style? Well, to that I say, if contrast is king, the other half, the queen to contrast's king, line work. Manga lives and dies by how its lines are used, because here lines carry so much responsibility. It will define form, texture, motion, even emotion through single strokes, repeated strokes in the form of hatching or motion lines, cross-hatching, clean outlines, all with varying thickness and style, but with one thing in common, and that is confidence. Look closely at these strokes from the series Kakegurui. They're strong, deliberate, and they know exactly where they want to be. And now look closely at this page from Jujutsu Kaisen. Rough, impactful, undeniably messier than the previous example, and yet still deliberate and confident. They also know exactly where they want to be. To apply this to our art, we need to be aware of how to portray basically anything with lines, whether it's motion, emotion, or some kind of 3D form. If we can confidently depict these things with strong, deliberate lines, well, you're getting an artwork that looks an awful lot like a manga page. So does this mean we should try to use as many lines as possible? No. Does this mean we should chicken scratch? No. Does this mean we should supplement our weaknesses with a rough, sketchy style? I mentioned the word quite often in the last chapter, deliberate. To do something deliberately means to do it intentionally, with planning, or with careful consideration. A common mistake artists make when drawing manga is treating lines like an endless resource. More hair strands, more folds, more texture, more hatching. Manga artists are more conservative with their lines than you think. Important forms get attention, and secondary forms not so much. Imagine you only have a fixed budget of lines for the entire artwork. Spend too much on the background floor and you'll have nothing left for the face. Spend them randomly and the viewer won't know where to look. There will be no, what did we learn? Contrast. And when you do invest heavily in an area, it has to pay off. Throwing more money into a bad company won't do much for you or for the company. Ergo, throwing more lines at weak anatomy won't do much for your art. Even in important areas, be conservative with your lines, invest only what you really need to, and to say as much as you can with the smallest amount of words. To put this point into use, we're going to be strict with our budget. We're not going to add too much detail into this rubble here, and instead suggest that it is rubble, with some detail on the top and on the bottom. In the focal areas, they'll get more attention, but deliberate attention. All of these lines work together to show off the shapes, wrinkles, and emotion of the face. Man, it's pretty complicated so far, right? Or is it? Those Taoists back in ancient China, they were onto something. The concept of yin and yang is present even here. Manga is about saying a lot with just a few words, showing complexity through simplicity. You might have listened to that last part and went, well, what about the likes of Berserk and Vagabond? You wouldn't call them simple, would you? Well, actually, I think I would. Maybe not simple, but deceptively simple. Before you all crucify me, of course, the beautiful art of Vagabond and Berserk are undeniably insanely detailed, but zoom in with me a little bit. What are these details made of? It's lines, lines, and more lines. And how many things are simpler than a line? So again, there's that idea of saying as much as you can with the smallest amount of words. Now, of course, they had a lot to say, so even their small talk, I guess you could say, added up quite a bit, but I'm sure you get my point. Mangas, even the really detailed looking ones, you can still see the building blocks in the finished product, so don't be too intimidated when trying to draw manga. It's possible. In practice, as long as you follow these points as best you can, pair it with some okay anatomy and understanding of form, your art will look manga-like. Keep in mind, Vagabond and Berserk are widely considered to have some of the best art even amongst all the pros in the industry. That's not the case with art like this. Now this is intimidating. But wait, I can see another building block that doesn't really look like lines. Some of you may think screen tones are just decorations that are made to look cool, and I mean, which they do, to be fair, or you might think they are used just for shading, for example. There's a bit more nuance than that. So these allowed early manga artists to convey gradients, shadows, and midtones without having to get grey ink. However, limitations breed creativity, and these were also used for texture, depth or focus, and other stylistic expression. The denser the dot pattern, the darker it reads from a distance. This lets artists separate planes, push depth, and soften shadows if they don't want their shadows to be too bold. Notice how even when tones are used, the strongest areas are still reserved for pure black and pure white. Don't think that screen tones replaces this contrast, they should support it. So that was the mid 1960s. What about now? It is still used because one, printing black and white is still cheaper than having grey or other colors. They are faster than shading or adding texture normally, and manga artists are on notoriously tight schedules. And number 3, tradition, I guess, and it looks good. But honestly, it's completely up to you if you want to use it. I didn't use it in this artwork personally because I think it looks fine without it, and I conveyed the depth with some lines instead. But in my opinion, screen tones are a part of the language of the medium, and I think if you add it to your art, it will look undeniably manga. Now, before I wrap up, one thing must be said. Calling all art in manga style is too vague. Some manga look realistic, some heavily stylized, some use rough, impactful lines, others clean, grounded lines. What I've outlined in this video are the various threads that commonly exist in the medium of manga, which binds all of these various styles together. And even then, some manga may only use some of these threads, others might use none. There's no singular manga style. So if you want to draw art that looks like manga, don't limit yourself by thinking, I have to draw the eyes like this, or I have to make the characters look cute, and so on. The real secret is understanding these underlying threads: strong contrast, controlled line work, line economy, and simplicity. When you start thinking in those terms, you're speaking the medium's visual language. And once you understand the language, well, that means you can say whatever you want with it. Now, of course, knowing these points is one thing, but getting good enough at everything else, that's a different story. A different video, I could say. Please check out the video on screen right now if you would like some tips on how to improve your art. Much love, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.